Forget the lottery ticket. Seriously, forget this entire myth of the overnight success or the one big lucky break. Wealth is not an accident. It's a highly specific, learnable cluster of daily actions that you, yes, you, entirely control. If you want to change your financial outcomes, you've got to completely overhaul what you do between the moment you wake up and the moment you go to sleep. To give you some context on just how learnable this really is, author Thomas C. Corley spent 5 years interviewing, observing, and analyzing over 200 self-made millionaires, literally dissecting the absolute minutiae of their daily lives. So let's dive right into this explainer on rich habits, the blueprint of self-made millionaires.
Culturally, we're totally conditioned to believe in the myth of sudden luck, right? We sit around waiting for a windfall, a jackpot, an inheritance, or that perfect viral moment to suddenly transform our bank accounts. But the actual reality of wealth building, it relies on daily, unseen habits. And this isn't just some abstract motivational theory. This is the concrete conclusion of Corley's massive 5-year study. He didn't just look at 233 wealthy individuals. He also meticulously tracked the routines of 128 people living in poverty. He compared the two groups side by side, hunting for that behavioral gap. And what he found was absolutely undeniable. Financial success is a controllable routine. It's not about where you were born, it's about what you choose to do at 6 a.m. on a Tuesday. Your daily outcomes, your net worth, your entire trajectory, they're all dictated by what you repeatedly do, day in and day out.
Section 1. The myth of sudden wealth.
So, what exactly is a rich habit? Well, it's not some vague philosophical mindset. We aren't talking about just thinking positive thoughts or, closing your eyes and visualizing a sports car. Rich habits are specific, small, repeated daily behaviors. They form a literal checklist of actions that correlate strongly with long-term financial success. To really understand this, let's look at a practical contrast. A poor habit? That's hitting the snooze button 4 times every morning, starting your day in a reactive, frantic state of rushing. A rich habit is waking up 30 minutes earlier than required, brewing a cup of coffee, and sitting in total silence to review your top 3 priorities for the day before the world even starts demanding your attention. You are the architect of your life, and these habits are the individual bricks you're laying down every single day. The quality of your future depends entirely on the quality of the habits you execute today.
Section 2. Read to grow, not entertain.
Now, let's look at a massive contrast in how self-made millionaires spend their free time compared to the rest of the world. A staggering majority of their day is dedicated to education, while only a tiny, almost invisible sliver goes to pure entertainment. In fact, 88% of the wealthy devote 30 minutes or more each day to self-education or reading for self-improvement. Why? Because they view their minds as an asset. And just like any piece of high-level software, that asset depreciates if it isn't constantly updated with new data. For the wealthy, reading isn't just a way to kill time on a lazy Sunday afternoon. It's a permanent, non-negotiable daily habit that vastly outlasts formal schooling. While the average person clocks out and immediately turns on the television to escape reality, the self-made millionaire opens a book to construct a better reality.
And what exactly are they reading? We're talking biographies of successful people, self-improvement books, and industry-specific news. It's highly practical and directly applicable to their growth. Right now, I need you to evaluate how you consume information. Stop passively scrolling on your couch, consuming algorithms that are literally designed to steal your attention. Reclaim your time. If you commute to work, instead of staring blankly out the window or checking social media, read 15 pages of a biography during that morning train ride. If you drive, throw on an educational audio program. That simple, practical, totally relatable change is exactly what shifts you from struggling to thriving. You're methodically feeding your brain the precise data, the exact blueprints that it needs to succeed. You are studying the blueprints of those who have already built exactly what you want to build.
Section 3. Turn ambition into daily goals. Let me be clear. Saying, "I want to be rich," is a terrible goal. It's vague, it's highly emotional, and it relies on momentary impulse or willpower to actually achieve. And willpower is a finite resource. It's completely depleted by the end of the day. Instead, a rich habit goal sounds more like this. Email 3 new prospects by 10 a.m. Boom. That demands concrete, written, immediate action. It leaves absolute zero room for ambiguity. You either sent the emails by 10 a.m. or you didn't. You've got to stop leaving your daily priorities to memory. You must stop letting your day just happen to you by accident, where you're only responding to the loudest crisis. Put your intentions on paper and demand action from yourself before lunch. Granular, measurable execution is exactly what separates a dreamer from a self-made millionaire.
So, how do we bridge this massive gap between where you are today and where you want to be? By rigorously following 3 explicit steps. Step 1. Identify your own dream. This is absolutely critical. Far too many people spend their entire lives chasing a path set by their parents, their peers, or just societal pressure.
If you're climbing a ladder, leaning against the wrong wall, every single step is a waste of energy. Genuine personal motivation is the only fuel that's going to sustain you through the difficult years. Step 2, write down specific goals to reach it. And step 3, create a daily to-do list based on those exact goals. Self-made millionaires use this precise progression. They translate massive, intimidating long-term ambitions into today's simple, manageable to-do list. They break the impossible down into the highly practical.
Section 4, the compound effect of habits. Now, reading and goal setting don't just happen in a vacuum. Discipline bleeds into every other area of your life. When you get control of your mornings, you start taking control of your network, treating relationship building as a genuine skill that requires dedicated time, rather than just some incidental afterthought. Then there's income creation. Get this, 65% of self-made millionaires in Corley's study created 3 or more streams of income before they ever made their first million. Why 3? Because multiple streams act as a fortress against economic volatility. If one stream dries up due to a market shift, they don't panic. They have others flowing. And finally, we see strict self-discipline. We're talking consistent exercise, limiting excessive TV to under an hour a day, and completely cutting out impulse spending. Your everyday self-discipline in a small, seemingly unrelated choice directly carries over into massive financial momentum, because how you do one thing is how you do everything. When you map all this out over a 5-year timeline, the growth isn't just a straight, flat line, it is exponential. Think of it like pushing a snowball down a long, snow-covered hill. At first, you're pushing with all your might just to get this tiny ball to roll a single inch. You are not going to get instantaneous, lottery-style results in year 1. You might even feel like you're doing a mountain of work for very little immediate financial reward, but you keep pushing. By year 4 and 5, that snowball has gathered its own momentum, its own mass. It becomes a massive avalanche of wealth that you couldn't stop even if you tried. Those invisible, dedicated early efforts compound into an absolute explosion of net worth. You're building an unstoppable machine, day by day, habit by habit, long before anyone else even notices your success. Section 5. Your Daily Wealth Blueprint. Wealth isn't one big decision, it's the daily habits repeated for years that nobody else sees. That is the ultimate truth of financial independence. The choices you make today, the 15 pages of a biography you decide to read tomorrow morning, the 3 prospect emails you commit to sending by 10 a.m., those are the invisible actions that will dictate your future. You do not need a lucky break. You need an airtight routine. The checklist is yours. The choice is yours. So, I leave you with this one question. What is the one unseen habit you are going to change before your head hits the pillow tonight?